Hello friends, I am back with another video with Bloodbraidless Jund. It went okay last time, it felt pretty good. I'm gonna take another stab at it. Go over the deck real quick. We've got 7 discard spells, which is something we are afforded by not having Bloodbraid Elf in the deck. The discard spells get a little better because you're not worried about cascading into them. So we can run 7 of them. We've got a few Fatal Pushes, another card that's not that great with Bloodbraid in the deck. Um, we've got a copy of Grim Lavamancer along with 3 Lightning Bolts just for some more cheap removal along with those Fatal Pushes, some Dreadbores and Terminates. No Dark Confidants, instead we are trying out Bitter Blossom and it's been pretty good so far. 3 Scavenging Ooze, 4 Tarmogoyf, trying out Tireless Tracker and Huntmaster of the Felves, one of my favorites in the slot of Bloodbraid Elf. Damping Sphere has been good so far, I really like it. And Gaze of Granite is another card out of the sideboard that we're trying that has been okay. Other than that, some discard spells, Blinding Duresses, some Nile Spell Bombs, extra removal, and then Obstinate Bela to try and live the dream against Hollow One, but also just really good in the mirror and kind of grindy Kolaghan's Command matches like that, and against Burn. So that's pretty much it. I'll see you for round 1. Okay, here we are for round 1. This thing is huge for some reason. Let's see if we can get a good hand. We certainly did. This is a pretty good keep. See what we're up against here. It is cold and rainy and miserable in Hardwick, Vermont right now, so nothing I would rather be doing than hanging out inside, playing some Magic Online, making some fairy tokens. Let's check out what we got going on over here. Ad nauseum. Put both cards on the bottom with the scry. They are in search of more mana. They're pretty close to being able to cast Ad nauseum. We don't have an answer to Phyrexian Unlife in the main deck. I think we're going to take the Ad nauseum though. And then they're going to have to try and see if they can find another copy. Yeah, they put both of those cards on the bottom with their Serum Visions. Temple of Enlightenment, card to the bottom. Clearly just looking for that that Ad nauseum. We're going to go ahead and get, let me think here. I think I want a Blood Crypt. Lots of these decks have been playing Supreme Verdict, which is a little interesting to me. There's an Unlife. So Bitter Blossom is a threat that plays around Supreme Verdict kinda well, sorta well. Let's go ahead and Thoughtseize again. I'd rather do that than try and land the tracker this turn, because if they did find an Ad nauseum, they can kill us next turn because they have the Spirit Guide. So let's see what's up. They found a Pact of Negation and an Angel's Grace. Not a lot of use in us trying to take the Angel's Grace because they've got the Phyrexian Unlife that we can't really deal with anyway. I don't believe. So we may as well take the Pact and just hope we can race them. Let's play a Let's play Forest. Pass turn. Okay, we knew about the island. Another tracker, cool. Alright, I guess we just try and attack them to death until they find an ad nauseum. Temple of Deceit. Put a card on the bottom. I like that. If they put a card on the top, then we're probably dead. Let's go get a Stomping Ground. If I had some way, like a Maelstrom Pulse, or some way to get rid of the Phyrexian Unlife in the main deck, then I'd be a little bit more interested in having taken the Angel's Grace out of their hand with that Thoughtseize. But as it is, that's not really happening here. These two trackers are going to close the game pretty quickly, I think. Okay. Gonna play a tracker. Play a land and crack it. Let's go get a swamp. Crack a clue. Got lots of clues coming. So here's 6 damage. Next turn I think we are actually presenting lethal. City of Brass. Okay. Yep, this is lethal right here. Oh, it wasn't lethal. I thought it was. Why did I count that wrong? Because I'm a doofus, that's why. I expected them to do something there. To have to. Well, so far, I've learned that I am a big goofball. So I might have given them extra turns for no reason. Phyrexian Unlife is a very weird card. okay. Da, da, da. Might have successfully played around it. I guess if our opponent has another Angel's Grace, then we did not play around it, but we weren't going to have played around it anyway. Cool. Fair enough. Took that one ad nauseum, and then they were not able to play anymore. I like explosives because it gets rid of the unlife, but it costs like 6 mana to do that with Gaze of Granite. This also can get rid of like Pentad Prism or Lotus Bloom. Duresses are good, obviously. Blanings are good, obviously. Fatal Pushes, nope. Terminates and Dreadbores, nope. I don't think that there's anything that I want to change other than that. I don't think their graveyard really comes into play at all, so I don't think I need Nile Spellbomb. And yeah, let's just roll with this, I guess. Yeah, I'm not gonna mulligan this. This looks great. Not that great. Let's see. If we draw a third land, I think we hit. We can Kolaghan's Command the Lotus Bloom as it enters play. Opponent did a lot of mulliganing. They got a lot of work to do. As long as we hit a land and tag that Lotus Bloom, I think we're okay. The Bitter Blossom and the Tireless Tracker will take care of a lot of the stuff we need to get rid of. That is always an issue. A lot of people play Leyline of Sanctity, and our best way to fight combo decks is just to load up on discard spells. Sometimes they have it, and it's really rough. But other times, you know, I mean, our opponent is on a pretty significant mulligan here. Well, I guess not. They only went to 6 cards, but I mean that it just means that there's more dead cards in their hand, and they're less likely to be able to actually kill us. Well, there's our third land we needed. Gonna play Stomping Ground, actually. Now this goes to 1. The fact that they didn't play a land there is actually huge because they can't play Ad Nauseam and Angel's Grace in the same turn unless they have a Spirit Guide. I think this is going to be an Overgrown Tomb. Let's see, I actually have to discard a card myself or deal 2 damage to myself. Not too concerned about that. Destroy an artifact. 2 damage to me. So now hopefully they're a long ways away from casting anything and we can start getting to work with a Goyf. Liliana is not bad. It might be better to get that established right now. Our opponent's on so few cards and we have so many things to get rid of. So a ley line goes down. Another ley line goes down. So no supreme verdict yet. Which kind of makes me think that they just don't have it. Let's attack and see what happens. Okay. So now they have lots of things to discard. The hand has Spoils the Vault, Temple of Deceit, Simian Spirit Guide. They got rid of a Spirit Guide. They can't use their City of Brasses anymore unless they play Angel's Grace first. Now we know that they have Spoils of the Vault. Yeah, okay. So they could have like Angel's Graced, save themselves a turn, but then they go down to no white mana? They left their card on top with Temple. I don't really know what that means. Weird. Okay. I feel like every time I play this matchup, it's like really close and I play really bad, but I end up winning and it feels like I should lose like every time, but I always end up winning and I don't really know why. It's just kind of a hard thing to put together, and it's both like it's kind of a specific card combo and a critical mass combo where you need 5 mana and ad nauseum and one of your other pieces, and that's just kind of a lot to ask for sometimes when you're playing against discard spells, and like including Liliana, that's just gonna eat away at your stuff in general. I don't know. All right, I'll take it. On to round two. Okay, we're back for round two. Let's do some more Jund things. Won the roll. Would love to play first. Okay. This is kind of interesting on what to play turn one. If I play turn one Grim Lavamancer off of a Stomping Ground, then I can play Thoughtseize and Bolt in the same turn next turn. Opponent went to 6. I think that's what I'm going to do, actually. Let's see what happens. This could be very wrong. But who knows? maybe it's right. Probably wrong. But I don't know. It kind of seems like it's going to work out here. Because we're going to swamp Thoughtseize. Yep, swamp Thoughtseize. They got a scrying and a stirrings. I'm going to take the scrying. Planning on bolting on end step here. I don't think that... Obviously, this is a bad matchup. But I don't think it's completely unwinnable in game ones. If you have a good threat in Thoughtseize, and then like a Liliana to back it up. No Liliana here is pretty rough though. We've drawn a lot of the cards that aren't especially good in the matchup. If this Ooze was a Goyf, and one of these was like either a Liliana or a Kolaghan's Command, I think we'd be better off. Or even just another discard spell. Reveals Oblivion Stone. Sure. That's all very interesting. We know their hand is Oblivion Stone, Ulamog, Forest, and something we don't know. And we're just going to bolt. Okay. Alright. We got a clock going here. Gonna need a overgrown tomb. Probably just bolting upstairs again. Let's see what happens. Let's see what our opponent can find. Relic. Okay. Cracking it immediately. Fair enough. Another tower. That's good. Could be bad, though. Could mean that our opponent is just going to cast Ulamog next turn, which would be rough. We're going upstairs. Another Ooze. Okie dokie. Don't think there's any way we can present lethal next turn. There's a Chromatic Star. Ancient Stirrings. Hoping we don't see an Urza's Mine here. Urza's Mine, okay. So that's not good. There's the O-Stone that we knew about. We are pretty close to being able to win this game. We're going to hit for 5, kill that stone, put them to 2. The opponent's going to nuke the Lavamancer. and an ooze with their Ulamog. It's probably our best bet. Put our opponent to 2. Now they are forced to Ulamog the Lavamancer and an ooze. And then we win if we draw Liliana or a Kolaghan's Command. We have one more Bolt in the deck, 2 more Kolaghan's Commands. We got some outs. Alternatively, they could find another Oblivion Stone right now, or an Ugin, or a World Breaker, which is not as good as Ulamog. Okay. So we got some outs. Also, a land into Huntmaster isn't the worst either. That's actually the worst. I don't think I even want to cast it. No, I may as well. The World Breaker is coming down next turn. Probably going to hit this Stomping Ground. Unless I just get hit with a Walking Ballista for a million. So now I don't think that there's anything I can do. I can take this. There's no... I don't play any Collective Brutality. And there's no removal spell for black, green that can get rid of this World Breaker for me. Ah! So close. One turn earlier with that Liliana we got there. Okay, as for the sideboard. Duress, Blightning, Damping Sphere. Check. Pushes come out. I think the Lavamancers and Bolts come out. It's just not the right way to attack this matchup. Like, sometimes you get really, really lucky and bolt a Karn, but this just never happens, really. Terminate, you can at least, like, hit a creature. And, yeah, I don't think that there's really anything else we want to be doing here. Yep. I'm going to submit like that. I've also never liked bringing in like engineered explosives to deal with Wormcoil Engine tokens. Just like it just kind of never works out. Wormcoil is really good against you, but it just kind of never works out that's that good. I think we can do better. Hell yeah. Put you on the bottom, but it doesn't matter because I'm cracking this anyway. I want to get an... I can maybe get an Overgrown Tomb. Scrying. I got Mine Tower. Um, Boy, is it right to just take the O Stone? Or maybe the Chromatic Sphere. I can actually see a pretty good argument for taking any of these. Yeah, I'm mostly concerned about this Oblivion Stone. Because I'm casting a Duress next turn. My other option could have been taking the Chromatic Star. Now I wish I had gotten a Blood Crypt, but there's really no way we could tell before that was going to be the case. Let's do the Dancing Sphere now. Next turn we can Duress, because they'll have drawn an extra card off this Chromatic Sphere. Note that we can't really go Duress into something else anymore. Because of Damping Sphere. Makes it a lot harder to cast 2 spells in one turn, which is fine. So there's a green, and now we're casting the Sylvan Scrying. Got to imagine they've drawn a spell of some sort here. I wonder what they're gonna get. Probably just gonna... They went to get a Ghost Quarter. That is interesting. That makes me think they don't actually have an answer. Or at least they don't have an answer yet. So I'm going to get this tracker down. Also, I mean, I would just love for them to Ghost Quarter me. I don't know exactly why they went to go get the Ghost Quarter. Between tracker and the fact that I need a red source, and I play a mountain, gotta play a mountain. I'm totally cool with you Ghost Quartering me. I'm not cool with them playing an Oblivion Stone off of a power plant. That would be bad. Chromatic Star. Second for green. Maybe they're just trying to find a Nature's Claim really badly. Expedition Map. That's all cool. Another tracker. I mean, they clearly don't have the thing yet, so let's keep rolling with these. Really just want to hit a land. Okay, okay, cool. See what you did there. Take this Karn. Opponent's got Wormcoil in a couple of turns here. I wonder if that was the right play. I possibly should have just... We'll see what happens. Probably, it's possible that I should have just played a land and then cracked 2 clues instead of using a Duress there. There's that Urza's Mine. Here comes a Thragtusk. Gonna get a lot of clues. Dang, okay. Black, black. Yeah, let's go Liliana. Sacrifice. See what happens. I don't know really what the right play is here. Here comes another Thragtusk. Nope, okay. I guess with the Ghost Quarter they can make enough mana to cast the Worm Coil. Sure. Let's draw some cards. Play some lands, make some clues. Pretty good. Let's stick up. I think I got enough clues, to be honest. I'm not going to be needing this land. Discarded a Sylvan Scrying. So they could get up to 6 mana again. Relic of Progenitus, that doesn't bother me. Nothing going on in the old graveyard. Let's see if they attack with the Worm Coil. They do not wish to. So, if that's the case, on end step, let's sacrifice a clue. Inquisition honestly is not the worst, except it costs 1,000,000 mana to do it. We don't have enough mana to crack a clue, unless we really want, unless we draw a land here, which I suppose we may as well go for. So if we draw a land, then we can Dreadbore the Beast token. Not that land. If we do this, then they have no permanence anymore. They will have to sack. They will have to. Oh, well, never mind. Then they're dead. Unless they have Dismember. Let's check for Dismember. We have enough to cast Terminate. Okay. So now we can. So even under the Damping Sphere, we still have enough to terminate this Wormcoil Engine before damage. Okay. We did it. Damping Sphere was very good. Do I want Engineered Explosives or Gaze of Granite? Really don't think so. So far, Damping Sphere, in the 2 times I've had it in play, it has been amazing. And there's only a few matchups that it comes in for, but in those matchups, it has been brutal. Like, any other card there, and we're just not even close to being in that game, and it did pretty well. I'm on the draw. Not a ton of interaction here. Opponent went to 6 though. And the discard spells start to look really good when your opponent's on 6. I think I might keep this one. The Blinding and the Liliana, like a 1-mana discard spell is clearly what you're looking for, or one of the best things you can get, but the Blinding and Liliana are also like pretty solid here if they're like struggling to try and find their Tron, so we're gonna keep. Opponent went to 5. Yeah, things like Lightning and Kolaghan's Command, they start to look really nice when your opponent's on fewer cards. Same is true with Liliana. Okay. Can't argue with that. We're just going to go ahead and snag a normal old swamp. An Inquisition. This could whiff. Doesn't. Great. Yeah, let's get rid of that scrying. Opponent's got Oath Stone and Urza's Mine. The thing is, if they don't draw a green source right here, or something to cast off of this forest, oh, they drew a Chromatic Sphere, so that's a green source. But they could like lock themselves out of green mana. I think that we are pretty safe to Stomping Ground and Scavenge Ooze. Of course, Ooze isn't really the best 2-drop threat that we've got. Tarmogoyf would be better, but it's probably better than Bitter Blossom. Opponent adds a green, plays a forest, plays that O-Stone. Okay. So this is looks like a great time for a Blightning. What land to get? I'm gonna go with Blood Crypt. Crucible Thragtusk was the remaining cards. That looks pretty good to me. Now it's pretty clearly attack and then draw step Kolaghan's Command to kill the O-Stone and make them discard. Destroy target artifact. Target player discards a card. Ding dong. 1, 2, 3. These 2-for-1s, the Blightning, the copy of Kolaghan's Command here. When you're in a 5-card hand, those get real nice. I don't believe our opponent has any outs here. I am going to eat the Thragtusk, even though it shrinks our Goyf, because I may as well. I think I get in for more damage. Okay. So we were going to untap next turn, have a 4-5 and a 3-3, and our opponent on 10. We weren't actually... Oh, wow. Jeez. We weren't actually going to be able to kill our opponent, I don't think. Alright, well. Damping Sphere. Pretty nice card. I do want to say that one of the things that's really cool about this deck is that the decks that you're bad against, like the matchups that you have intrinsically have problems with, are like the big mana decks, Tron and Primeval Titan decks. And now Valakut is like a pretty like consistent deck. They have just like plan A. It's just very easy. There's nothing really to assemble because all their cards do the same thing. But Tron and Primeval Titan decks and like some of the other things that you're bad to, like the Hexproof deck, you just like they have pretty significant fail rates. Like sometimes the pieces just don't come together and they lose. And you don't need a lot of disruption when they are already hurting. Just the rules of Magic make it so that it's hard to assemble all these pieces in the right time, in the right order, and make sure you can go off. And especially when there's some discard spells happening and you're under some pressure, it gets tough. And so even in cases like that last hand that was like, don't really have that much disruption, but it's pretty good. I'm going to keep it. Sometimes your opponent just doesn't have it, and you just like get some free wins that way because the decks that you are bad against can lose to themselves. So that's definitely one of the good things about playing Jund. All right, we'll be back for a little bit in round 3. No, we'll be back in a little bit for round 3. All right, we're back for round 3. I'd love to play first. Hand looks pretty good. Yeah, sure. Don't love that I have to take 2 off of this Bloodstained Mire to cast my Tarmogoyf next turn, but that's okay. Shock Troopa. That is a name I recognize from Magic Online, but I don't know who or why I recognize it. Relic of Progenitus, Platinum Angel, Academy Runes, or Urza's Mine. So the green-red Tron decks are very good against you. This deck is a fucking nightmare. I cannot beat this deck for the life of me, but we're going to play Tarmogoyf early on here and see if we can just roll. Don't really want to cast anything into this remand. Raging Ravine is actually a great draw, because, like I said, I don't want to cast anything into the remand. I guess there's no really good reason to play the Ravine right now, so we'll play the Blooming. No, there is actually a reason, and it's that. Um, I don't know. I might just never cast this, or maybe I'll get it discarded by Liliana or something. Not a Tron land, so that's nice. I have no interest in casting this Huntmaster. I have no interest in letting my opponent resolve Remand, like, ever. We only know one of their cards, I guess. Here comes a Thirst for Knowledge. No, Academy Ruins for Relic. Oh yeah, duh. Okay. Yep. Ooh, Urza's Tower. That's not good. Well, we have a plan. The thing about the Relic is that they can't just keep getting it back with the Academy Ruins, because it exiles itself. So even though our Tarmogoyf is a 1/1, which is, of course, pretty bad. Alright, no power plant. Ooh, that's cool. Uh, so I choose a card, and it goes into their hand. I don't really care. I guess I'll put Sundering Titan into their hand. Let's get an Overgrown Tomb. Fire up this Raging Ravine. Black one. Red one. Everyone face. Karn, Scion of Uza. Very, very cool. Now we can give them... They'll get back Sundering Titan if they want it. They can also... Or no, a Boro if they want it. Also, they can just do that. Get a 1/1. Treasure Mage. Okay. Now they are leaving up Remand successfully here. They've went and fetched a Worm Coil. So we can Kolaghan's Command to destroy an artifact and kill a creature. It'll get remanded. We cast it again. Do the same thing. Tarmogoyf is only a 3/4 because of instants, creatures, and lands if we do that. So that's probably not the right play. Opponent's still looking for lands, clearly. Let's get this Ravine going again. I don't think letting them cast Remand is, like, gonna help us at all, ever. That's a cool picture. This matchup. Oh, this matchup. It is the worst. Yep, that is fine. So next turn they can get their Oboro off of Karn. At that point, though, they won't be able to hold up mana for Remand. I don't know. I don't know what to do against this. Brand new card. Deck that hardly ever gets played. They put Oboro into their hand. Here comes the Wormcoil Engine. I guess if I draw another burn spell, we can deal the last 4 here. Terminate plus Kolaghan's Command. We can attack with the Huntmaster and cast Kolaghan's Command. Or with the Ravine, I mean, and cast Kolaghan's Command. With the Ravine and with the Goyf. The Goyf will be a 3/4. So we can Kolaghan's Command, kill both of these things, attack with Raging Ravine. Tarmogoyf will be a 3/4. They'll have to block one of them. I mean, they'll have to block the Ravine. Probably going to be trading Ravine for the Death Touch token. No, Tarmogoyf will be a 4/5 because Wormcoil Engine is a creature. Instance creatures, artifacts, and lands. Okay, so they'll have to chump block both. Next turn, they get a land, they play. Okay, I think this works. Two damage and an artifact. Artifact, 2 damage. Attack everything at the Shock Troopa. Ravine is huge mungus. Now they're going to play Platinum Angel. We get to kill it. Oh, wow. That's actually really good for me. Unless they have Ghost Quarter in their hand or something, then that's really good for me. because the Ravine is lethal. So say they play land and play Platinum Angel, then we untap, we terminate it, and we attack for lethal. Unless I'm missing something here. Might be able to steal this one. Okay. You can have Condescend. Another card. Okay. Luckily we have enough mana to terminate this, have it remanded, terminate again. Once we play this Verdant Catacombs out of our hand. Get another swamp. Red, black, terminate. Activate this feller. And I think we did it. Whoo, boy. Okay. Our opponent's deck is sweet. This is really cool. This card seems fantastic, especially against me. This matchup seems awful. Like, ugh. It was worse. It's just worse with Karn. Oh my god. Ugh. Okay. What are we doing then? Explosives and Gaze of Granite. Definite maybes. Nile Spellbomb seems good. Duress, obviously. Blinding, obviously. I don't actually know about Damping Sphere. Like, it stops those Tron lands, but that's really just a symptom of the problems. Fatal Push is coming out. That card's garbage. I don't think I want Grim Lavamancer. I don't think we want the bolts. The Terminates and the Dreadbore. I hate them, but we kind of need them. Kinda. There's also a chance that our opponent brings in like Thought Not Seer, in which case we will want those. Do we want the Damping Sphere? I know it seems like very easy. Hey, they got Tron lands, got to bring in Damping Sphere, but it's really not their plan A. Is like the mana thing isn't always what happens, but I think it probably is better than something here. They're probably better than Bitter Blossom, and maybe we can lose one of Ooze, I guess. Ooze is okay against like the Academy Ruins plan. Maybe just Bitter Blossom again. We'll see what happens. Who knows? Crazy deck. Really cool. Hope that I have discard spell into Tarmogoyf again, and there's no Leyline of Sanctity. That would be perfect. I think my opponent made the wrong block and it cost them the game. Yeah, gonna keep this. Kolaghan's Command is great. No Leyline, also great. Teleria West. Whenever your opponent has Teleria West, it is just non-stop garbage. It is just There's just nothing good that comes out of your opponent casting or playing Teleria West on turn one. It is just all garbage. Tower, Condescend, Thirst, Dismember, Worm Coil Engine. Oh, it's not a Condescend, it's a Repeal. If that's the case, then I'm just taking this Thirst. I know the Dismember can nail this Scavenging Ooze, but we can get it back pretty easily with the Kolaghan's command. Okay. Just gonna try and make it so they can't have cards. That's it. No cards. Blooming Marsh, hello. Just straight F6'd. I have creatures in my deck. You have Dismember in your hand. They got one card that we don't know about. I would love to cast this Blightning and pretty much close out the game. Let's see what they do here. They could Dismember this. This could also be a Thirst or a Remand, and if that's the case, we still just need to do it. I'm going to go ahead and get it Stomping Ground. Yeah, if this is a Remand or Condescend, then at least they're not like spending their mana on Repeal on our Ooze or something. Okay, so they are repealing, but now they're still taking damage and discarding 2 cards. They lost Tech Edge and a Tower, so now their hand is Worm Coil and Dismember. You got it. Pretty happy just Thought Seizing here. Worm Coil, Repeal, Dismember. It's all the same damn card. I'm going to take the Repeal. I just don't want them to draw any cards. Pretty fine getting this dismembered because we have the K command. We can even K command and cast this on the same turn sometime in the future. They played the island. Okay, I like that. And they conceded. I mean, they were losing, but I didn't think they were in that bad a shape. Alright, well, so far we've played against Ad Nauseam, a combo deck. We've played against Tron, which is really bad. We've played against Blue Tron, which is, I mean, if you wanted to write down a deck list to beat Jund specifically, this one might be it. And we're 3-0, so let's keep it rolling. We'll be back for round 4 in just a second. Alright, we're back for round 4. 3-0, feeling good, already cashed. Want to try and win this one out. Keep it rolling. Love the hand. Ooh. Oh. The hand is worse. That is an okay draw. Definitely going Swamp Inquisition. Mountain Swift Spear, huh? Searing Blaze, Rift Bolt, Skullcrack. What's going to happen in this game? We're going to... I'm going to take the Rift Bolt. We're going to try and strand Searing Blaze in their hand. We're gonna try and Liliana minus to get rid of the Swift Spear pretty soon here. Don't love that. I guess it just means Skullcrack. It's a weird play. That is a great draw. Do I Thoughtseize? I think I do. Nah, no. Whatever. No Skullcrack. I like to see that. I really do. Let's make them lose a creature here. Ship the turn. Maybe they'll go upstairs. What are they doing? Why aren't you casting any spells? I'm just going to make you discard your actual stuff. Boy, oh boy. Our opponent. We're going to make them discard a card. Don't need this Bitter Blossom. Gonna play another Liliana, make him discard again. We want to keep you. Everybody discards. We're gonna discard Thoughtseize. Okay, well, all they drew is lands. So next turn we're going to make them discard again. Hopefully they choose to get rid of that Skullcrack and we can nuke them with the Huntmaster. Lavamancer is interesting. It's a good answer to it though. Every time I tick this up now, unless they have another land in their hand, it's just card advantage for me basically, so another land, okay. Well, let's bolt this. Okay, I like to see that. I like to see that. Ticking up, gonna get rid of this Lily. Okay. We have successfully navigated our opponent's really awful draw. I guess we're not out of the woods, although this Liliana is going to be tough for him. Like, they definitely don't want this thing to flip either. Okay. They had a really, really awful draw. They discarded quite a lot of lands to our Liliana. But that being said, even if they were spells, then they were still just going to be discarding cards. So that was just about as good as you can hope. We need to take out Bitter Blossoms, and we need to take out Thoughtseize. Everything else is fine. Baloths, yes please. The Blightnings, and a Murderous Cut. I don't think I want Duress, but it's okay. It might be better than Tireless Tracker. Tireless Tracker just is pretty slow, but there's so much discard in the deck anyway. I've actually kind of been wondering about Blinding versus Duress. It's possible that on the draw I should be playing Duress because my hand. Because my deck is slower. I need to have more 1-mana spells that interact, so. That said, Duress can whiff, which is, like, you know, obviously not great. I don't love it, but we're going to keep it. I kind of need to get a Blood Crypt. Blood Crypt and Swamp. Yeah. Opponent mulliganed. So that's good. We need a threat, but there's a lot of them. And we have good mana and like plenty of removal spells for any stuff that they do. Even Murderous. What's cool about Murderous Cut though is that it doesn't trigger Eidolon. The GG. So we got a Ravine off of that. Inquisition. I don't think I'm really in the market for casting Inquisition this turn. I think we need to deal with this Goblin Guide. I think I can do that next turn pretty easily. Oh yeah, I have to discard. Frig, I'm stupid. It's actually not that bad. We're gonna get rid of this Ravine. Yeah, the Ravine. Even though it's a threat. Because I want it to be able to Murderous Cut with. So here comes Eidolon. Nope, a Rift Bolt. So we're gonna let them put the trigger on the stack. We're fetching a Blood Crypt and bolting this thing anyway. The worst case scenario is that we actually reveal the Blood Crypt, and then like we're in a lot of trouble that we don't need to be under. So no reason to do that. It was a bolt. Okay. Here comes another spike. Okay, so we're effectively at 9. Got a bolt coming. Does effectively at 8 versus 9 matter that much? I think it doesn't. We're gonna need a land anyway. Searing Blaze, sure. I figured they had at least one land because they fetched for 2 mountains. It's really weird to me when people do that. Like, you're gonna need a white source. Yep, so as long as we... That last card's Arid Mesa. That was, like, not a bad play, but not the right play to play that Bloodstained Mire instead of the Arid Mesa. Speak of the Devil. I'm pretty comfortable with discarding this Terminate. Now we just gotta hope we draw a creature. Okay, let's see where this goes. Alright. Can handle that. I don't think that our plan is ever going to be to ultimate the Liliana. So let's just go ahead and use it. Don't really feel the need to discard any of these cards right now. Boros Charm. Sure. Where's my Baloth? Not bad. Could do some work. I wish I had one more green source in play right now. We're going to discard a Dreadbore. They have one more creature in the graveyard. And they have a lot of outs. That's not one of them. Plus, we get to gain more life. So that's very good. Make you sacrifice. Eat it. Eat the guide. I don't have any creatures in my graveyard, so I won't be doing any of that. And now let's get in. We've got back a cut and a bolt. We don't quite have lethal next turn. If we draw a bolt, we do. Goblin Guide. This looks like a good time to use the lightning bolt, actually. Well, do I win next turn if I don't? If I cut this, there actually is a chance that I just win next turn if I just murderous cut this thing. Cancel. Let's get the trigger. Yeah, okay. I don't actually need that mana, that's fine. Let's get the trigger. Let's get the trigger and then figure out what we want to do. Because if a creature's on top, then we have it rolled up. Tarmogoyf, right? So we're gonna oh man, did I actually just lose it because of that? I think I might have. We cut, we untap, we draw the Goyf, we discard it to Liliana. We K command bolt. I actually screwed it up. I needed that mana. That's really funny. Okay, well, let's just bolt this then. Let's go to 6 life. Our opponent goes to 6 life. And we'll have everything taken care of. I guess I probably still should have just... the Ravine will be able to finish it off. I totally forgot about that Raging Ravine, too. Luckily, there's nothing that they can have. If they draw a path, then they're still dead. Okay. If they drew, I guess the worst case scenario was a ensnaring bridge, but we had the K command for that, so we had everything pretty much covered. So no reason to. I think I screwed up. If I so I didn't realize I added the black, and then it wouldn't let me undo, so I just had a mana in my pool. Because I tried to cast Murderous Cut, but then it didn't work. Or then I tried to undo it. So if I had not done that, I'd have had... I would have let my opponent attack, get the trigger, realize it's Tarmogoyf. Good. Use that black mana to Murderous Cut. I couldn't use the Bloodstained Mire to shuffle, because then I lose my Tarmogoyf. I Murderous Cut the Goblin Guide. I use a red source, my Blood Crypt, to bolt upstairs. I untap. I draw Tarmogoyf. So now my opponent's at 9. I fetch with my Bloodstained Mire, find a swamp or whatever, use black, black, red to deal 2 and make them discard, or make me discard, doesn't matter. And tick up Liliana, discard my Tarmogoyf, eat the Goyf, eat the Goblin Guide. Scooz is a 7/7. Opponent's at 7 due to Kolaghan's Command plus the Bolt. So I actually had it wrapped up there. Luckily, between the Kolaghan's Command, the Goyf on top, and the Raging Ravine, there was nothing my opponent could actually do. I was going to untap, I was going to draw, whatever, it doesn't matter. I was going to tick up Liliana to see if they had Path to Exile or not. If they did, then I fire up Ravine and attack. If they don't, then they're dead to the ooze. So, one of those things, it's like, you really can't, you got, I don't know. You can't screw up against this deck. They'll just, like, kill you, but in that instance where it's just like, well, nothing, I die. So, it turned out okay. Alright, 4-0. Trying to 5-0 this league. Let's see what happens. Alright, squad, we're back for round 5. Hoping to 5-0 this league. On the play. Hand looks pretty good. Forest Terminate isn't my favorite, but we're going to roll with it. We also get the really awkward play of Blood Crypt Thoughtseize into Bitter Blossom. But I think it's a keep. I mean, it's obviously a keep. I think it's not obviously a keep. I could see myself finding a swamp here instead of a Blood Crypt. Because we've got the forest, there's no land that we could draw other than 1 Hissing Quagmire, 2 Blooming Marsh that don't add red. And I guess a couple of, and there'll be 1 swamp left in the deck. And also, like, another black source is great for us because of Liliana the Veil. I think that's what I'm going to do, just in case. Bitter Blossom really wants you to have a high life total. This garbage again. Luckily, Terminate sucks in this matchup, so I'm not really that concerned about that. I think I'm taking the Serum Visions. It's good to get rid of a piece like Angel's Grace, but they have a lot of things that they need. They need 2 mana and the Ad Nauseam. And if there are other pieces, Angel Grace, they need 3 mana. Because, so Spirit Guide is 1, 2, 3 with their 2 lands. So, I think that's okay. If they have, like, Phyrexian Unlife, then they still, like, the Angel's Grace still just doesn't help. They could, like, pack the Angel's Grace at any point that they wanted, but that's, like, fine. It's a mind rot. Bitter Blossom, making some tokens. Now would be a great time for a land. Also, one of the things that they need is another black source. Hello, friend. Let's play a tracker. Yeah? Nope. Nope, I don't want to. I don't know if that's going to hit. Yeah, it's going to get hit with Pact. So that's fine. Because now they have to discard the Angel's Grace, or they have to use the Angel's Grace. So we got rid of that Angel's Grace anyway. So there's all the mana they need. We know that their last card is Spirit Guide. But that mana isn't coming online for a little while. So one of their last two cards is Spirit Guide. Lily of the Veil, what up, girl? Don't need this Terminate. Not gonna lie, that was a great draw. Opponent didn't do anything on their turn. Are we gonna do this actually? Yeah. We want to keep making them discard. Need to keep that. So they don't have Spirit Guide. So right now, let's see, they've got this thing exiled on 2. The way that they win against this is that they're going to keep one of either Ad Nauseam or Angel's Grace in their hand. And then the turn that Lotus Bloom comes into play, I guess it doesn't actually even have to be that turn. But they're just going to keep discarding the other card until they draw Angel's Grace. And Ad Nauseam. Like, that's their hand at the same time. So what we would need to find is another discard spell. That one works as long as... Yeah, okay. So let's take the Angel... Okay. The game has ended. Fair enough. I mean, they did have outs there, actually. If they drew Unlife, and then next turn, and then cast it, and then next turn drew Ad Nauseam, we were dead, but whatever. Alright, Damning Spheres, Duresses, Blightnings, and the Explosives. You come in. The Lavamancers are bad, the Pushes are bad, the Bolts are bad, the Terminates are bad. The Bolts are probably better than the Terminates. Why is Damping Sphere in my deck? I don't want Damping Sphere. Now Spellbomb is a card, I guess? I don't know. I guess Lavamancers attacks. We run just headlong into Leyline of Sanctity, but not much we can really do about it. Even the other stuff that we could play, like Nile Spellbomb, I mean, we could play Gaze of Granite, but that's just like so never gonna work. Like they have to resolve a Lotus Bloom and then not kill you, and then say go, and then you Gaze of Granite for 0. It's just like never happens. Explosives, on the other hand, is really good because it can hit Phyrexian Unlife, and it can also hit a Lotus Bloom. And hit a Lotus Bloom on upkeep, which is the difference sometimes. This hand sucks. This hand is okay. We're going to keep it. I really wish I knew. I don't think I want that. I really wish I knew if my opponent had a Leyline before I scryed. Yep. Okay. Hey, hey, look at that. Okay. So we are officially doing it on Blood Crypt tapped. That's fine. Pentad Prism. Not in love with that card. Also not in love with that card. I think I'm actually going to make myself discard with this Kolaghan's Command. Oh, there's an Unlife, huh? Okay. So now our opponent can... Jeez, that's a lot of discard. Let's see. This is on 1, Uno. Let's go get a Stomping Ground. I'm going to actually make myself discard and discard one of these useless discard spells. I mean, I'm kind of assuming that I'm dead on their upkeep here. Target player discards a card, destroy an artifact. I'll target myself, I'll target this Lotus Bloom. I'm assuming that they just sacrifice it and add 3 mana. And ad nauseam me. Okay, let's make them go through it though. Why isn't it showing up in the revealed zone? I guess it will. I guess it will in a second. But this is, I guess, what happens. Lightning Storm entered the revealed card zone. That's a good one. Yep. Okay. Opponent's at negative 51. Simian Spirit Guide. Simian Spirit Guide. Lightning Storm me. Okay. They don't actually even have to do this right now. They can... Oh, no. They can't draw a card. Well, they could leave 1 card in their library, I guess. And then they could go to their main phase and kill me with it. But whatever. They won! Okay. Fair enough. Good game. Don't think I'm doing anything different here. Nope, all this other stuff is garbage. I mean, I guess there's a world where Gaze of Granite for 2 can stop a Pentad Prism? No. No. We're just gonna play Magic. I would love to play first. Keeping this hand. No leyline, 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 no leyline. Please no leyline. I hope it's a sketcher with no leyline and they're like, oh, but what if they have a discard spell? And then an Inquisition on them and they lose because they didn't have leyline. Nope, they had leyline. Okay. I hope it's a really bad hand, but it's got leyline, so it's got to be good, right? And then we kill him. Gonna get a Blood Crypt. Why am I wasting time? Just gonna get a Blood Crypt now. Don't think I'm getting Ghost Quartered. Gonna Bitter Blossom on 2. There's a Lotus Bloom. There's a Sleight of Hand. Good. There's a pentad prism. Okay. Gonna get an overgrown tomb. Gonna Liliana. Ticking up. I guess the way we win this game is we draw a Kolaghan's Command. Don't have a lot of time to do it. I think we got one turn. They discarded a Lightning Storm. Okay. Intriguing. Not sure what that means exactly. Boy, there's no chance that like they have a Snapcaster Mage, right? Like their out is to go Snapcaster and target this discarded Lightning Storm. Because then I'll want to play the Ooze. Let's go for the Ooze. I guess I should. I obviously should have made them discard first. I really don't think it's coming down to that though. Leyline of Sanctity. Correctly kept that card in their hand. I mean, I guess there's a world where this Scavenger Ooze being in play is like a big deal, but I think I'm probably just getting killed by a Angel's Grace. Black, black, black. 1, 2. Ad nauseum. There's a Laboratory Maniac. So they can cast that. Interesting. Yeah, so they can cast Laboratory Maniac, and they'll be able to cast a Serum Visions just by going Spirit Guide, Spirit Guide. Okay. And they have lots of Pact and Negations back, so they win. Alright, well, we went 4-1. Leyline of Sanctity is the enemy, but we played against a bunch of bad matchups and won anyway. So, other than that last one, which we actually were looking pretty good, except for that Leyline. The Leyline in both games 2 and 3. Don't have a lot of answers to Leyline. Maybe that's something we need to address. You know, play like a Maelstrom Pulse or something. But even then, it's like whatever. I don't know. Nature's Claim, maybe. There's a lot of good applications for Nature's Claim. So that's something to look at least. Anyway, the deck seems good. I'm honestly not missing Bloodbraid Elf at all. I'm pretty happy with what we've got going on here. Winning some treasure chests, getting some play points, everything's going great. Can't argue with the results. 4-1, where we hit like a bunch of pretty bad matchups. Love it. gonna keep it going. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. You can check out my blog where I write about this deck. I write about some other decks too. And it's at Jund Life, all one word, JUNDLIFE at blogspot or .blogspot.com. And yeah, just keep watching. I'm going to start getting into standard. I'm trying to get my my beta code for MTG Arena, maybe play standard on Arena. That might be really cool. And yeah, so stay tuned to this channel. Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.